Welcome. This podcast will explain and illustrate one of the leading trends in e-learning, and that is the use of avatar in e-learning products. I want you to meet Paul. Paul will be the spokesman for the avatar world. Avatars will make your course more personalized and the content more tangible, and they are among the latest in e-learning trends. Let's hear what Paul has to say.
By combining a powerful and motivating content with an avatar and a commanding voice, you are basically creating a comprehensive tool that guarantees your audience's interest, generating a successful result.
Avatars can be an essential approach to add realism to any course. By using avatars, organizations find that they can combine the best parts of both face-to-face training and e-learning technology. These characters offer a human-like method of course delivery that may help reinforce the course content. The first aspect to consider are the characteristics of these characters, both in their appearance and personality. It's important that students identify with the avatars and that these avatars play a significant role during the course. It's important that characters' appearance and language align with your audience's profile. For example, these characters may represent a member of an organization, or a department, an authority figure like a boss, a teacher, or an expert instructor to transmit their knowledge to the learners. Always keep in mind that the characters help facilitate the learning process and must appear at strategic moments in accordance with the role they fulfill. Therefore, make sure you interact with the learners at the appropriate times and for the right reasons. Pictured here is Robert Gagne's 9 events of learning. It is an effective model associated with e-learning. Avatars can be instituted in all 9 steps. Let's take a look at each step and have an avatar, specifically Paul, explain how he can play a role in each event. The first event is to gain attention.
Using an avatar such as a Voki is a very effective way of gaining the learner's attention.
Next is to inform learners of objectives.
Articulating the objectives to the learner could be a challenge. Let me provide a face-to-face method of conveying the course objectives.
Next, we have stimulate recall of prior learning.
After a few questions, I trigger the learner to use his or her existing knowledge base.
Next, we have present stimulus material.
Using an avatar is an excellent way of keeping it interactive. I can deliver a story or play a role in a scenario.
Next, we have provide learner guidance.
Use me to provide learning guidance. I can do it just as well as any human. I can administer a simulation with right or wrong answers.
Next, we have elicit performance.
There is no better way to elicit performance than to have the learner develop his or her own avatar with a relevant scenario illustrating their knowledge of the respective material. See, we are a very diverse method of e-learning.
Then we have provide feedback.
With my charm and good looks, you better let me provide the feedback. All you have to do is make me interactive. I'm very good at it. You have been listening to me thus far, and you are doing a great job. See, I told you I was good at providing feedback.
Next, we have assess performance.
Let me be the bearer of good or bad news. They can't get mad at me. I'm an avatar. Not only can I tell them whether the answer is right or wrong, but I can tell them why.
And finally, we have enhanced retention and transfer.
Prior to the assessment, I will provide a conclusion. I highlight and review important elements of the content and reaffirm if the course objectives were met. I will also discuss how this new knowledge or skill will be used in the workplace. This is also an opportunity to provide review questions prior to launching an assessment. I can do a lot for an avatar. I guess that is why I'm a leading trend in e-learning.
Okay, like with everything else, avatars do come with their pros and cons. First of all, avatars provide limitless possibilities to develop learning tools for any situation. Avatars offer the opportunity to connect with learners worldwide. Avatars cater to experiential learning, and avatars can provide insight to the instructor or developer who created it. Through the use of avatars, students can enhance their technological skills. Avatars are a legitimate learning resource that is currently being used at numerous reputable universities. And avatars offer opportunities to create experiences that may be a challenge to orchestrate in real life. Avatars provide the opportunity for collaboration and cooperation between students. Now for the cons. The learning curve for both instructors and students must be considered and planned for when using avatars in the classroom. There is a need for access to appropriate technology anywhere students will be required to access avatar-based programs. Because the game-like appearance of avatar programs, some students may not take the work lesson seriously. The instructor cannot always control the environment in public areas of the virtual world. Communication can be difficult in avatars due to lack of body language and quality of facial expression. And because avatars are not solely used for educational purposes, exposure to the more uncouth aspects of the virtual environment is possible. Finally, it can be hard for instructors to redirect students if they are off task or not participating. Now that you know a little bit about avatars and their applications to e-learning, please ask yourself, first, do you think avatars are effective? Well, after seeing the relevance and how they can play a role in each event and learning process, one may think that they are very effective. Next, would you use avatars in your e-learning product? Well, acknowledging it is a growing trend, and it would probably shape a lot of e-learning developers to answer in the affirmative on that question. Next, will future studies continue to illustrate the effectiveness of using avatars in e-learning? Well, the trend is certainly a growing one. Also, the pros and certainly outweigh the cons, and it doesn't appear as if avatars will be obsolete anytime soon. And finally, will organizations buy into the scenario-based training using avatars instead of actors or human actors for a more effective and efficient measure to provide e-learning? Well, the answer to that, I would think, is the organizations that are still using antiquated ways or experiencing the high costs associated with recording actors in their e-learning products will most likely come on board and embrace this concept. Now, these are just some of the most popular avatar development programs associated with many e-learning products. First, we have Extra Normal. Next, we have Voki. And finally, we have Second Life. And let's see what Paul has to say about Voki in closing.
I want to thank you for your attention to this podcast. I think I did a great job educating you on the trend of using avatars in e-learning products. Again, my participation as the spokesman illustrates how effective we can be in any e-learning product. Tune in again. Bye-bye.